Welcome to the degree second year third semester students. So as you know already that we have started with the syllabus and we have done a poem and also one lesson in prose, A Rogue Man in Workers' Paradise. The other day we happened to complete that lesson. Now we'll again go to the next part of your syllabus, that is the poem titled Punishment in Kindergarten. So this is the poem that we are going to do now. So each and every part of your curriculum is designed in such a way that it gives you a kind of message, and at the same time, there are lots of benefits linguistically and grammatically, and you know how a poem is actually written. What are the literary aspects involved in that? So before we start with the Unit 2 poem, Punishment in Kindergarten, let us see what actually are the questions and what actually are the things that are associated with the poem. What's the matter that's associated with the poem? It's written by Kamala Das. The name of the poet is Kamala Das. You all must be aware of this name. You all might be knowing this name. Kamala Das, a popular poet belonging to India, who writes about the revolutionary aspects related not exclusively to women only, but also in general, the social issues. What are the conventions and how the conventions come in the way of development and such other things. So now this is a poem that is written about the school days, about her experience in school days, reading activity. Do you remember your school days? So we all know very well that we cherish to remember the school days. Do you have happy memories of your school days or unhappy ones? Now, do you have happy memories of your school days or do you have the unhappy ones? Now, everyone has very good, memorable, happiest moments and also unhappy ones. Maybe there are some which are unhappy and there are some which are happy. What was the best thing about your school life? What was the worst? So, can you recall the best things that happened in your school days and the worst things that have happened? So, quite naturally, our memory is such that it can remember the best as well as the worst, this extreme as well as that extreme. How was your relationship with your teachers? So, how were your teachers? How was your relation with your teachers? Were you intimate enough to share your happiness and unhappiness and tell your problems? How was your relationship? Were you ever punished by your teacher? How did you feel? Were you ever punished by your teacher? So, did it happen that you were punished by your teacher? At that time, how did you feel? Were you ever rewarded or praised by your teacher? How did you feel? Were you ever rewarded or praised? Were you appreciated by the teacher, rewarded by the teacher? And how did you feel? Were you an introvert or an extrovert in school? What are you now? So, were you an introvert? Introvert in the sense, one who doesn't open up, one who speaks very less, and one who doesn't tell what is in the mind. Extrovert means one who is very, very talkative, goes on talking. What are you now? So maybe you were an introvert and now you have become extrovert, or maybe you were extrovert and now you have become introvert. So how are you now? Do you like being alone in a small group or among a lot of people? Do you like being alone? So do you like to be alone always? Or would you like to be in a small group or among a lot of people? Do you recall any incident from your school picnics? Is it a happy memory or a painful one? So quite naturally, you have been taken to some picnics, excursions, and such other things also. And was it a happy memory or a painful one? So is it a happy memory that you have about the excursions, about the picnics, or is it a painful one? Kindergarten is a school for young children below the age of 5. Do you think the teachers in general are adequately trained to deal with children of such a tender age? Justify your response. So when we say kindergarten means it's a school which is meant for students for tiny tots, that is children below the age of 5. So children below the age of 5 should not be treated like the other normal children. The teachers need to be trained because they need to understand the psychology of the child, and they need to have a lot of patience to deal with the children, and they should not suppress the creativity in the children also, and they should be able to understand what the children want to say, and they should give enough freedom to them. So do you feel that the teachers are adequately trained to teach and deal with children of such a tender age? Justify your response. So if you say yes, the teachers are trained enough to deal, then justify, support your answer. And if you say no, they are just monotonously teaching them, then also you have to justify your answer. Why do you say that the teachers are not trained enough to do so? Or that is, how did you come to such kind of conclusion? What made you say like this or say like that? Now, psychology suggests that our childhood experiences shape our adulthood personality. So, our childhood occurrences, our childhood experiences, what all experiences we have during our childhood, those experiences shape our adulthood personality. So, those are very important in shaping our adulthood personality. Do you think we can ever grow completely out of or forget our childhood? So, do you ever at any time think that we ever grow completely out of or forget our childhood? So, do you think that we can forget our childhood? And do you think that we can completely grow beyond the experiences, beyond thinking those experiences? Now, about the author. Let us know about the author. The author's name is Kamala Das. Born in the Malabar region of Kerala, the life of Kamala Das, like her birth, was marked by several twists and turns. So we see that the poet Kamala Das, who was born in 1934, she died in the year 2009, and she was actually born in Malabar region of Kerala. And like her work, she was marked by several twists and turns. So her life was marked by several twists and turns. She shot into popularity with her confessional mode of poetry. Now, she became popular because of her confessional mode of poetry. Confession means agreeing what you are. Confession means to say yes to something, like you confess, like we say the criminal confessed his crime or something like that. So to accept, to agree, that is called as confession. So popularity with her confessional mode of poetry. Hitherto considered the domain of Western poets like Sylvia Plath and wrote candidly, making forays into the emotional lives of women. So such kind of confessional mode of poetry was actually Such kind of conventional mode of poetry was actually the domain of Western poets like Sylvia Plath. And she wrote in a very frank manner, forays into the emotional lives of women, and the she went into the emotional lives of women, how the women are connected emotionally. Her first book of poetry, Summer in Calcutta, came out in 1965, but it was her 1973 collection, The Old Playhouse and Other Poems, that brought her wide recognition. So, in 1965, she has written Summer in Calcutta, and in 1973, The Old Playhouse and Other Poems. This is a work that has brought her a lot of popularity. Her autobiographical work, My Story, and her experiments with prose received great applause. So, she happened to write her autobiography, the title My Story, in the year 1976, and her experiments with prose received great applause. So, her experiments with prose that has received a lot of appreciation. She was deeply influenced by her mother, Balamani Amma, and she published many short stories and novels in Malayalam under the pen name Madhavi Kutti. So, she has published many short stories as well as poems also, stories, novels, poems, and all with the pen name Madhavi Kutti. And she was very much inspired by her mother, Balamani Amma. So, her mother, Balamani Amma, was the inspiration behind Kamala Das. And she has written many short stories and novels in Malayalam under her pen name, Madhavi Kutti. So, in Malayalam, she was called as Madhavi Kutti. Her pen name was Madhavi Kutti, and she has written many short stories and novels. Drawing upon religious and domestic imagery to explore a sense of identity, Das writes about intensely personal experiences, including her growth into womanhood. So we see that drawing upon religious and domestic imagery to explore a sense of identity. So she goes very deep into her domestic imagery as well as she wants to explore the sense of identity. So what is the innate identity of a woman? What is the innate identity of a person that she wanted to explore? Das writes about intensely personal experiences, including her growth into womanhood. Punishment in Kindergarten is one such poem that dramatizes the trauma that she had undergone in school. So she tells about intensely personal experiences, including her growth into womanhood. So how she grew as a woman. And Punishment in Kindergarten is one such poem that dramatizes the trauma that she had undergone in school. That we come to know that she had undergone some pain while she was in her school days. And what is that pain? What is the trauma that she has undergone? So that she wanted to share. So she wanted to tell about her experiences in the school days, childhood. So let us now know about the poet, Kamala Das. About the poem. What is it about the poem? Kamala Das reveals in her autobiography that the poem is based on her experience during a picnic to Victoria Gardens in Calcutta. So it is based on, she reveals in her autobiography that the poem is based on her experience during the picnic to Victoria Gardens. The friends and her friends in school, in the kindergarten, accompanied by the teachers, happened to go to Victoria Gardens in Calcutta on a picnic. While she was alone near a hedge, the other girls were playing. So she was just standing near the bush alone. The other girls were playing. The insensitive teacher chided her for being alone. The teacher was very, very insensitive and she chided her for being alone. So she went on to say many times that why she was standing alone, aloof from other children. She ruminates over the childhood hurt with a sense of matured detachment. She recalls the sense of childhood and which was hurt with a sense of matured detachment. So she wants to memorize the childhood for her unhappy experiences, but at the same time, in a very matured manner, she wants to be detached. The poem juxtaposes the past and the present, childhood innocence and adult experience. The poem juxtaposes the past and the present. It combines the past as well as the present. Childhood innocence and adult experience. How childhood is innocent and the adulthood is experienced and mature. The sharp memory of pains and the blurred images of people. The sharp memory of pain. How the memory is very sharp with the pain. The memory is so sharp that she was able to recollect the pain and the blurred images of people. The images are blurred because it has been long back that she was able to identify, that she was able to recollect. So the images are blurred. She is unable to recollect clearly the images. Although the poet declares that there is no need to remember that picnic day, the very fact that she recalls the experience so vividly shows that the pain is far from forgotten. So she goes on to say that she doesn't want to recall the childhood experience, but she again goes on telling again and again that she doesn't want to recollect. The very fact that she doesn't want to recollect it, that itself shows that the pain is far from being forgotten. She has a lot of pain in the mind. Today the world is a little more my own. No need to remember the pain. So now she says, as a grown-up person, the world is a little more of her own. That is, she doesn't need to rely on somebody else. No need to remember the pain. She doesn't want to remember the pain. A blue-frocked woman caused throwing words at me like pots and pans. A blue-frocked woman. Here, a blue-frocked woman means the teacher in the kindergarten. Caused throwing words at me like pots and pans. She was throwing words at her like pots and pans, just as people throw the pots and pans out of anger. She was throwing the words to drain that honey-colored day of peace. Now the day is described as a honey-colored day, a very peaceful day. And with her sharp words, with her sharp words, with her very sharp words, the lady was draining her peaceful day. Why don't you join the others? What a peculiar child you are. So the teacher was telling her that you are such a peculiar child. Why don't you join others? Why don't you mingle with others? Why don't you play with others? What a peculiar child you are. What a strange kind of child you are. What an unusual child you are. Why are you not mingling with others? Maybe this child is having something else in the mind. But the teacher is not trying to understand that. She is only trying to say, what a peculiar child you are. On the lawn in the cluster sat my schoolmates, sipping sugar cane. They turned and laughed. Now, the other classmates, they were sitting in the lawn. They were sipping sugar cane. They turned and laughed. They turned and laughed because they were quite happy that somebody was being scolded. So little children feel that if somebody is scolded or if somebody is being told something, they feel that, okay, I am not being scolded. They feel very happy and they express their happiness by smiling and laughing without any without any kind of concern for the person who became the victim. Children are funny things. They laugh in mirth at others' tears. So here the poet says, children are funny things. They are very funny and comical. They laugh in mirth. Mirth means joy. They laugh in joy at others' tears. So when others are having tears in the eyes, they laugh. They are very joyful. So they get the enjoyment only when they see the tears in others' eyes. It's not their fault, but it is their childhood that makes them like that. I buried my face in the sun-warmed hedge and smelt the flowers under pain. So she was unable to give the answer to the teacher. She buried her face in the sun-warmed hedge. The hedge, the greenery was a little warm due to the sunshine. And she just bent her head there, put her face there, and smelt the flowers and the pain. She actually wanted to smell the flowers very well, but she was unable to enjoy the day because she felt the pain because of the scolding done by the teacher. The words are muffled now. The laughing face is only a blur. Now the words are muffled now. That is, the words are not very clear, they are muffled because she is not able to recollect exactly. But she knows why the pain was caused. The laughing face is muffled now. The laughing face is only a blur. The faces that were laughing, they are very blurred. The images are blurred. That is, the other classmates who were laughing when she felt painful on being scolded by the teacher. Those faces are blurred. The years have sped along, stopping briefly at beloved halls. The years have sped along. The years have gone on very fast, stopping briefly. Very shortly, very briefly, they have stopped at beloved halls. At beloved halls. That is very lovely kind of halls. They have been stopped. That is, whenever something is very good, very peaceful, there the halt was very short and moving sadly on. And then again, very sadly, the years were moving on and on at beloved halts. So when something is very beloved, something is very good. The halt was very short, remember. And again, it was moving sadly on. My mind has found an adult peace. Now, my mind has found an adult peace. She could get peace only after attaining the adulthood. Because as a child, she felt very, very painful on being chided by the teacher. Now, as an adult, she has become matured enough to understand and bear the pain. No need to remember that picnic day when I lay hidden by a hedge. So she again says she doesn't want to remember that picnic day when I lay hidden by a hedge. And she lays hidden by a hedge. watching the street white sun standing lonely in the sky. So how the street white, watching the steel white sun, watching the steel white sun. So the sun was so white like a steel. That is, it was very sunny, warm, standing lonely in the sky. The sun was standing lonely in the sky. It's a kind of imagery, it's a kind of metaphor. Just as the sun is standing lonely in the sky, she was also feeling alone like that. So ultimately, the poet says that her childhood was painful and she doesn't want to recall. But she recalls and says, after becoming an adult, she got the peace. After becoming an adult, she got the peace. She was very, very peaceful because of that. So this is the conclusion of the poem. You have to see. Thank you.